Pack your bags, we're going to nowhere. The grass is greener, can you smell the fresh air? White picket fences, flamingos and lawn chairs. Can't wait to go nowhere. Pack your bags, we're going to nowhere. The grass is greener, can you smell the fresh air?
Hello, and welcome back to the Potter, episode 16. The one, the only, episode 16. It's been a fat little minute since we did one of these.
It has been. It feels like it's been a month. Has it been a month?
I know. No, it hasn't been a month. It's almost been.
Good
3 weeks. Good 3 weeks.
You've been getting slammed by essays?
Slammed by essays. Just a lot of homework. But how's your homework been?
Well, if I were smarter, it wouldn't be bad. But also,
right.
I thought I had 2 assignments due yesterday. So
right.
I raced through doing one of them yesterday. It was a big programming assignment I had.
Right.
And I raced through doing it yesterday, and then I checked on our dashboard thing, and I saw it wasn't due until March 4th. And I was like, oh, God.
Damn. Well, you know what?
I got it confused with a different assignment that was due that day. So then I had to do both anyways.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, because I get messed up. I mess myself up with dates too often. But I thought week 5 was reading week. I thought it counted as a week.
There's so many classes that list week 5 as reading week.
Yeah. So I just assumed it was, and then I look at my schedules now, and I'm like, oh.
It's like, oh, this is week 5.
Yeah. Or I think Julia told me because I was rushing through assignments. Yeah, this week is week 5. And I thought I had 8 things due this week.
You're like, good God, what have they done?
Yeah.
But really, they're due next week, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and what really scared me was I have to do critiques with the teacher. And
you thought you missed it.
Sign up for week 5, but I was like, there's no
way you're going to meet during reading week.
Yeah, he can't do that. But then I've just spooked myself, so I raced a message
I did have to
a
meet
friend
with
in
a
the
teacher
class.
during reading week, briefly.
Oh, is that
They
legal?
emailed me, and they were like, hey, can you join a Zoom call with me briefly sometime soon? And I was like, sure. We said time.
Damn.
It didn't work out, so another time. That one worked out.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you have a copy of your test? And I'm like, oh, God, I failed this test so hard, didn't I? And they were about to go through me and tell me why I did the worst in the class.
Right.
Or they thought I was cheating, and they're going to, point out what they thought was cheating, and then they're going to, get me in trouble. I was like, damn, I'm so screwed. I already thought, what is this meeting about? It's got to be bad. It was right after a test I took, so, it's not good. And then when they said, do you have your test? Oh, God, it's so screwed.
That's scary.
So I take out the test. They're like, can you email it to me? I'm like, oh, my God. So then email them the test, and they're like, okay. They open it. Okay, everything looks in order here. And I'm like breathing super heavy. And I'm like,
right.
And then they're like, okay, thanks. So, yeah, basically what happened was you handed in the template for the test, but not your completed test.
Oh.
And I was like,
that's scary.
I know.
Carson, you can't be doing that.
They're like, I understand it's okay though, because I understand it's hard to get tests in the rush during pandemic online, so it's fine. Don't worry, I'll grade this and then I'll get it back to you in a couple days.
Right.
I was like, oh, thank God. They could have just given me a 0. They could have been that guy and just given me a 0.
That would have been. Oh.
But yeah, they're like, so yeah, you submitted the empty test that you were supposed to write on, not the completed one.
Yeah, jeez. At least they know,
Which I swear, when I submit them, I make sure to double check that I submitted the right thing. I always click on it, download it again, open it, and go, okay, good, and then I can click off.
Yeah.
I swear I did that for that too, but I guess maybe I didn't, or maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
God, that is spooky. That's very spooky, huh?
Yeah, it called me out, you handed in the wrong thing, it was blank, and I was like, oh, God, this is worth 10%
scary.
of my grade, this one test.
Yeah,
maybe more, even.
You're lucky they're nice.
Yeah.
'Cause, God, that could have been a real mess.
Yeah, they were just laughing, though. They were just like, don't worry about it. But I was like,
yeah, okay.
Good God. Yeah, they were very nice about it.
They've been, all my props have been good so far.
They've been very understanding about I think they understand because they have to work during this. They're like, good God, imagine trying to learn during this.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, no, it's been.
Yeah, they've all been pretty understanding. Like all the quizzes and stuff are open book, or they give you like 2 hours to do it. Right, one of my classes, I have a week to do a test, and then while you're taking the test, you have 2 hours to do the actual test.
Yeah,
and it's open book, and you're allowed any resources on the internet or anything.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's not even a test right at that point.
No, it's just like a worksheet.
They said you're allowed to use any resources you want. You have a week to take it. You have 2 hours once you start.
That's just a worksheet,
Yeah, I know.
It's just a worksheet.
I think they're not really trying to like, hey, how much do you know, and really grill us on this. This isn't even a major part of our class. It's just like a small test to see our understanding. But I think it's more about if you don't know it, then you should learn it through this test.
That's true. No, that's nice.
Rather than them being like, you should know this by now, and if you don't, you're getting a bad grade.
Getting a bad grade. No, that's good though. Yeah.
My classes haven't been too bad. There's one class where the schedule's a little weird. They have you like do 5 questions on this site every week, so it's very easy to like get lost of what week you're on and like how many you're supposed to have done.
Right.
And also, because they don't tell you like, hey, this week you need to have this many done. They just say you need to have this many done per week, and we expect you to be there. So it's a little sketchy.
It's a little sketch, but
and I know no one in that class. That class I'm taking isn't even in my program. It's in a complete different department.
Yeah.
It's the computer science department, so I know no one there. And that's also the one I panicked and did like 20 different questions for that are like all a bunch of algorithms and stuff in one day, pretty much.
Right.
Because I thought it was due like the next day. It was due like 2 weeks and then.
The stressful ones are the ones where you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Kind of, but at the same time, it's kind of good because it makes you really like focus on it. Like like, I have to do this.
There's there's no falling back on someone you know.
Right, and it's also good because you don't end up getting misinformation.
Yeah.
Because you have that too sometimes. Like you just ask a friend, like, "Oh, what are we supposed to do?" and then they end up being wrong. Yeah. And now you're wrong because of it. So, yeah. Oh, it's kind of. I have a few stressful things like that you're just like, am I sure I did this right? Because like there was one assignment worth 20% of my grade that was all submitted through a Google form.
What?
And that's sketchy. So I emailed the prof right after. I was like, yo, just submitted this, just want to make sure you got it, because there's no email receipt or like anything.
It should send you a receipt of what you entered.
No,
maybe they didn't set it up.
Yeah, I guess not, because this one.
Because I think it's a checkbox at the end. You can just check like email like a sort of receipt to the person's email, so they know what they entered.
Yeah.
But they're like, nah, they can figure it
out. or maybe that was on me. To like,
no, there might have been a link at the end saying view your answers. There's an option to automatically email you.
Yeah, anyways, I didn't get anything, so I was like, I gotta email. Just say, here
gotta
it is.
Be safe.
I sent it. Yeah, play it safe. That's what I always do. Like, even if you have trouble submitting something at the time, like, say, I don't know what goes down, but you always just send an email with the assignment attached. Worst case. Because then they know it's at least done, and you're not, like, making an excuse.
Yeah, and luckily through a dashboard, you can also send them. You're gonna submit a message as well.
Yeah.
When you submit something.
Like that.
So if you're an hour late or whatever, you could say my internet was out or whatever. Yeah. Not that they'll buy that. You probably still want to email them, but.
Yeah, I always email them before at least with the thing attached, and then do whatever I gotta do. A little backup. What else has been going on? Well, I wanted to add this because our last episode was the Six Dogs tribute, and since then. It's been announced that on March 12th, we're getting the album, which is crazy.
His album that he handed in early January.
Yeah, so he submitted he passed away on the 26th of January, and he had handed in the album to, like, be distributed on the 9th. And it was supposed to come out, like, the end of this week, like the 26th or whatever that day is. Maybe 27th. But it's going to be March 12th, which is still crazy because last week we were talking about it, like that would be the ideal situation, just to hear, because he was so excited to release that album, to just like hear what that was. But we both didn't think that was gonna happen, at least not
soon.
So soon.
Yeah,
not
I thought
soon.
we were
Maybe
waiting
like
at least a year or two.
Yeah, because no one knew if it was actually finished, or like who would have to
who would be
pick up that project. Like, yeah, because also like
if it still had to be remastered and mixed and everything, or not remastered, just mixed and mastered.
Then it could have been.
Someone's got to do that. That's gonna take a while, and then they have to sort out the credits for it and the
like who's actually gonna take it over, right? But yeah, just to add on to last week, March 12th, we're getting the Six Dogs album, and I'm so excited for that one. Because the last singles he was putting out, insane.
Yeah, those are some of his best songs.
His best songs, so like it's gonna be, I'm so excited. What else has gone on since the last?
Talking about those
assignments
that we've mistakenly like almost not handed in or actually not handed in properly. Right. Throwback to last term when I had my power go out for 2 separate midterms.
Right.
Remember
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
What are the power was there all day, and then right when I got to the midterm, power goes out on one of them. I'm like, this is unbelievable. 3 days later, it goes out again during another midterm.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Both times I had to email the prof and be like, okay, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
My power is out. I'm on my phone. I don't have a computer to do this on anymore. And I have no internet. And they were really understanding that. They're like, all right, it's just get it handed in whenever you can.
Right.
And let us know if it is still out in an hour or whatever.
That is ridiculous, though. On 2 separate ones.
Yeah, that was... What are the odds on that? That was when the world was really out to get me.
Yeah, that takes
the hydro company was really out to get me.
Yeah, they were watching you.
They knew what they were doing. They're like, oh, and he's logged in, cut the power.
They knew your times. Yeah, no, that's
They have my number for sure.
Hopefully it doesn't happen to you this year, knock on wood.
Yeah, God. I think it'll be fine, because it's mainly in the winter that problem happens.
Yeah.
So it was right around late November, December, early December, and it was it was not good. Power would go out pretty frequently, but it hasn't gone out really since Christmas.
Yeah.
That I can remember.
So you're chilling. You're chilling. I was going to talk about it. Since the last Potter, I built the PC.
That's right.
I didn't have it before.
Huge.
Huge.
It's been the greatest gift I think you've ever gotten.
Given
me. Even though it's yours, it's the greatest gift you've ever given me, indirectly.
Yeah, well, we talked about it on an episode.
Because now you got Stardew, but not just on the Mac. You got a proper mouse, and keyboard,
and you
got Discord all set up properly, and you got the mic set up properly, the headphones. You got a controller, you got a wheel now, so you can do Beam and G.
Yeah, well, I was gonna talk about, cause within a week, I thought this process of finding all the parts, do all that, was gonna take a couple months.
I was shocked when it went from I'm not getting a PC until we move into a condo or something next year to I'm getting a PC to I have the PC to I have a BeamNG to I have a wheel to we are in the game playing. That was over 4 or 5 days that happened.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It wasn't long at all. Cause, well, the idea was I was having trouble justifying buying a new computer because it's the expensive stuff.
It is.
And I knew once I had this, the MacBook wasn't gonna be getting used very often for anything.
At least while you're at home, it'd be good if we were in class. You could still take notes of that.
Yeah.
And then come back to use the workhorse for your homework and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, when you're at home, I have the laptops I got from high school still.
Yeah.
That thing is in such a poor state, and I don't.
It's so bad.
I don't use it ever unless I have to for something remotely.
You know what I use my laptop for, the high school laptop? It'll be if I'm calling someone on FaceTime or something. I use it as a stand for my iPad.
Oh, that reminds me. I actually used
That's all I use it for.
I actually used it 3 days ago, so I had to. These laptops, don't feel bad for them. They're very beat. We're not just abusing these things. They're gone. These things have no purpose. My screen doesn't work. I think yours is pretty cooked too, isn't it?
Oh, it's cooked.
It's
cooked.
So a couple of days ago, I had a light I had to plug in.
Right.
My setting up a proper lighting system for my dad, and
right.
he has this like ring light, but it only has a USB plug. It's not like into the wall. It's to USB.
Right.
I didn't have a wall plug, so I was like, hold on, run over, get the laptop, plug that into the wall. So it was basically an extension cord.
It's like an adapter. It's like an adapter.
And then I just plugged it into the laptop, opened the screen up, and it powers the light. All good.
That's all you
Laptop
need it for.
had no use other than just to convert wall to charge its battery to then go out the USB to the light.
To charge a ring light.
The light maybe took like half a watt, maybe 1 watt of power, and I'm using the whole laptop for that.
The whole laptop as a converter. It's a converter. I don't even use it for that, guys. I literally open it, rest my iPad up against the screen.
It's just a stand.
And it's a stand.
It's as useful as a book, basically. You could just stand a book up and then lean against the book.
I could. But that's what I use. That's all I use it for. The only purpose.
Damn.
These poor things.
Yeah. They had a good time though.
They did have a good run. From grade 9 to 12, they were the workhorse.
During school, those things got beat.
Yeah, they were workhorses though.
Yeah. They're retired now. They're in the Hall of Fame.
But now, PC is built. I thought we were gonna have a trickier time finding parts.
I thought the GPU might be more of a problem, but
like I thought it would. Once you I think, whenever you said something about parts are scarce, that made me worried. I thought I was gonna be waiting months.
Parts are scarce. I don't know how we were able to find the GPU so fast.
I don't know either. Because we found everything.
The GPU did take the longest, though, I think. Everything else was pretty quick. This. And then the GPU had to do a bit of... it took a day to find that, I think, or something.
But at the same time, it was easy. And nothing was, overpriced like crazy either. Yeah, we got lucky, I think. And then parts came in over the course of, a few days. Amazon had the most. I ordered, everything off Amazon, basically. And then we slapped it together over the Discord call.
Yeah, you streamed it to us, a little live stream.
I had my phone. Just streaming. I had multiple.
We had the
phones
manual
at
app.
one
We were
point.
looking through it.
Yeah, that was quite the time. That took us in total. I think it was 5 hours.
That's not bad. But it booted first try. That's booted a good
first
achievement.
try.
First try. We almost didn't, but your dad noticed the memory wasn't pushed in all the way.
Right.
That was key.
Noticed that.
That was key. If he didn't notice that, it wouldn't have booted first try. It would have been what the hell? Everything's plugged in. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's going on? That would have sucked. But yeah, I literally did no research, really. I watched one video on someone building a PC.
And you were like, all right, I'm a pro now.
No, I didn't think that at all.
Geek Squad, what do you need help with?
I had full trust in you and Carter. I had full trust in your abilities.
I like that.
And that was it.
I appreciate that.
There you go. But it was a lot easier than I actually thought it would be. Realistically, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's not rocket surgery or anything. It's
yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. They make it pretty easy. All the cables go in only one way and stuff like that. And
if I didn't have you guys, I would have obviously done more research and probably spread it out over a couple days.
And probably read the manual like the Bible.
Yeah, would have read everything, but having you guys, it was quick.
Yeah, we were able to fly through it pretty quick. Not being there was a little rough because we'd have to that port there, and you're like, this one, no, the one above that, and I'm like, doesn't no, the one a little bit left.
and at the same, for me, it's tricky. I had two phones in my hand. One is the flashlight, one is the camera.
Yeah, you were holding them together like a little sandwich, weren't you?
Yeah,
like a little ice cream sandwich.
Like a sandwich, and then it's hard to really wiggle those wires in and hold these parts and do all that. So We did it though,
Mm-hmm.
and it really went smooth. But yeah, this thing's a beast. Because the real issue I was having, like, how I could really justify it was not just for, like, games, but I was doing so much graphic stuff for my classes, and the little Mac could not.
The little
keep
Mac that
up.
could not.
It couldn't do it, because I'm doing, like, poster designs.
How hot would that thing get while you're doing that?
Oh, it would sounded like a jet engine ready to take off. 'Cause it was okay compared to other people's computers. Like, some people had like MacBook Airs from 2010.
They're gonna get slammed.
I don't even know how they were using it.
You probably had to like put it on ice and then just like
Yeah, but like
do like a
'cause
nice
mine-
slow render over many hours.
Exactly, because I had 8 gigs of RAM, which isn't crazy, but it was fine for the laptop. Plus the i7 core. And a lot of people were working with like i5s, like i3s.
Yeah.
So I was like definitely on the better end, but still, because I'll be in like Illustrator or InDesign, and I'll have like 50 posters, like big resolution posters.
Yeah, that's when you're gonna run out of memory and stuff, and it's gonna be crying for help.
So that on the Mac, I was doing things like maybe 2 posters per file, something like that. But this, I don't even think twice. I just run it all, which is beautiful.
Yeah, because you've got tons of RAM now.
Tons of RAM now, and just everything. Like the M.2, which
Lightning.
Loads everything up. That's where all the programs are stored and stuff. Lightning quick. Like, I hit the power button at the start of the day, and I can literally count to 5, and it's not even, like, 3 or 4.
And it's just on Windows.
Which is insane. Yeah, it's quick. And then you gifted me the steering wheel. Very lovely.
The present I ordered you specifically for your birthday still has not arrived. I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, if it's
coming from overseas, so I'll give it a couple more days before panicking.
Yeah, no, it should be fine. Literally, the gift I got you took months.
Yeah.
It literally took months. Like, I ordered it, I think, June. And it didn't come until...
that's when the quarantine was at its height, really.
Yeah, and I didn't get it to you until, like, September. Maybe October. I think October. Like, it was absurd how long that took. But the steering wheel... Because now we're ripping Beam.
Oh.
And I don't think most people know what Beam is. But it's a game with, like, I would say it's pretty realistic. Like, super realistic. For the most part.
Yeah, they do some special... their team, I swear, they're the smartest people on Earth. The different fields, they have to know physics, they have to know... computer science, they have to know math, they have to know like so many different things, they have to know like about 3D modeling, because there's just so the cars are made up of like beams, so hence the name BeamNG, the game.
Right.
So the beams are like little rods, and then they go to nodes, so the cars are just a bunch of nodes and rods connected, and that allows them to have super realistic physics and everything. So if you crash, it like actually crumple the hood. If you do like a jump, your suspension compresses properly and stuff. Because you can have like spring beams and like normal beams.
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's probably the most realistic driving game there is, I would say.
Okay, yeah, because most realistic. I would say so. Because like the car, even on the controller, you can't really tell. But once you get the wheel going...
Once you get the force feedback, that's when you can be like, okay.
Yeah, once you get force feedback, and, like, like, if you're taking a corner at 60 or 70, like, you just can't do that.
One of my favorite settings in the game, I don't know if you've turned this one on, but it's, I think, driver, sideways, acceleration, force or something. So if you turn hard to the left, the wheel will try to rip to the right, because it's trying to simulate you in the seat sliding. So if you're sitting in an actual car and you steer left, you go right. Right?
Yeah.
So it'll actually simulate that and pull to the right.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's a really cool feature. It makes you really.
I'm
it really puts you in the seat. Whenever you turn right, it pulls left really hard. When you turn left, it pulls right really hard.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna turn that on.
It makes cornering really crazy because it's not just like you float on the corner now. Now it's really pulling.
It's just ripping you around because it's like, especially with a wheel, it feels like actually real. Like it's one of those games that you can drive normally, and it's fun. There's like a lot going on, you know.
Yeah.
Because usually car video games, you're not having fun unless you're ripping 200 miles an hour around corners.
Drifting around corners at 200.
Yeah. But this is like simulation, especially with like the gearbox and the clutch too.
Yeah.
That's just a whole nother level of...
Yeah, you get the clutch going, the gearbox,
Mm-hmm.
you get the manual shifter.
Yeah.
And also the off-road is surprisingly good. Like, you'd think, like, okay, they're good at, like,
Just
on-road stuff and all the, like, cars are just, like, straight. But then they have, like, off-road versions, like, spec'd-out versions of the cars. And you can make your own versions, and there's hundreds of thousands of mods for the game.
Right.
And I actually downloaded 2 more maps today that I think you'll enjoy. One of them is specifically for off-roading. And it's kind of rare for a mod map to really take advantage of all the different like materials in the game. But this one actually has like the really deep mud, rocks, slippery mud, like different types of mud and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just went for a quick drive on it today to test it out before we were gonna. I don't even know how we're gonna use it over multiplayer. I still have to figure that out. But I give it a quick test, and like you drive in and you just sink like 3/4 up the tire, just right into the mud.
God. So because like. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's like foot deep, just like straight into the mud, and then you just spin. You're going nowhere in that stuff.
You're going nowhere. I like, once
and
you
get
like
off-road, proper rock climbing and stuff, and
I think because it's so realistic, like it makes that stuff so good.
Yeah, there's still some issues like the force feedback at low speeds will shake kind of side to side sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
But like. Still, for a game to be able to simulate you either parking in a parking spot, like it can give you proper force feedback and all the right simulation, all the physics for you either doing parallel parks in a city street or doing 300 and crashing into a wall. That's pretty crazy. And the fact that they can go to those 2 different extremes and still deliver a really good experience that's pretty good.
My favorite part probably is like I don't have a manual car to like actually drive around, but I get enough of a sense of like what's what with a manual, you know?
Yeah.
Like even if the clutch like pedal isn't like exact how it would like engage in like the certain spot where it engages.
Yeah,
stuff
it
like
engages a little quick in game. Yeah, I think there's different clutches. I know we tried one car out, like a little Italian car, and that one was a bit more realistic. It lets out slow.
Yeah.
But a lot of the cars do have like performance parts, and those let out like immediately.
Right, but like I don't even.
There's a lot of stuff in the game that's pretty accurate, though. I have driven a manual car, and like if you try rev matching in the game, it's like pretty accurate.
Right.
And stuff like that, like, downshifting, like the engine braking in a lot of cars, that's accurate too. Where it'll like kick out the side if you shift down too hard, and it just engine brakes.
All that, like because even if it's not perfect, like I'd like learning the motion of it.
Yeah.
Because I'd say 75%, maybe like 80% of learning a manual is just getting used to like that motion and the times to shift and like all that kind of stuff.
And not money shifting, going from 5th to first or something.
5th to like all that stuff. I like because you just learn the motion and then I don't know, you're used to that.
Yeah, so. It's second nature in real life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun to do that. I want the handbrake. Because you can get like the hydraulic handbrake and all that.
It's like be 2 feet long.
Yeah. Well, now I also want the like the race seat, because you can get a full race seat and hook all your stuff up, so it's like at the actual spot that.
Well, if you really want to go crazy, you can get a pneumatic one, where
that moves.
It has force feedback like a wheel. So if your front right dips into the mud and sinks, the chair will lean forwards and right.
Lean and
and if you go over a speed bump, it'll go bump bump like a proper car.
That's insane.
But yeah, that ain't gonna be cheap.
No, that's not cheap. But if you went full simulation, like the one simulation thing, or not simulation, I don't know. But the one thing I'd like to do is get the shifter down to like an accurate place. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool because
right next up to the wheel. You want like down to the side a bit.
Right now it's like on the end of my desk, like attached on, right beside, like parallel up with the wheel. But if I could get that somehow like lower.
Yeah, you need like a proper chair for that.
Yeah. I was almost thinking of how I could build like, because my chair arms come off easy, and then there's like 2 bolt holes.
Oh.
You could almost build a little something to like.
Yeah, a little bit of plywood even.
Yeah, just hook that on, and then like that'd be sick.
That would be awesome.
And that's just down there, and then you get the handbrake too. That's also down there, or you could go full drift car and have it up on the desk. Too.
One thing I've always thought of, but always, probably rightfully so, not done because I know it's gonna be very hard, is if you buy like an old wheel from a scrapyard off an actual car.
Right.
You could theoretically attach it.
Yeah.
I have the wheel base and then the wheels separate. You can unscrew it and take it off.
Yeah.
So I could mount an actual car's wheel with the shift, like the stock for the lights and everything, like a shifting stock on the other side, maybe even for automatics.
Yeah.
Paddles if it has them on it, a proper horn in the middle, like all that stuff. I could actually get one of those and using like a Raspberry Pi or something, program it all to work with the drivers and whatever working. But that would be a lot of work. But that would be so cool. Actually, I have a very cool video to show you. We'll probably have to watch it after the Potter. But someone that I think they work for BeamNG, they actually got a dash cluster out of an old BMW.
Oh, I have seen that.
And they set it up with their wheel, and the dials actually work and everything. And it is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That is sick.
They have the wheel with the proper dash cluster above it, and it's got the RPM, the speed, the fuel, and everything just works.
Everything.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen someone do with BeamNG.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be sick. You'd have to build a real rig, though, because that'd be heavy.
Yeah, you would.
That wouldn't sit on the end of the
desk.
mean,
ideally, you would just buy an really old used car and then just like scrap it, like put your wheel in for its wheel instead, and then just put the monitors outside the windshield.
Yeah, or
leave it in the garage.
Like get something totaled.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
guess when they got rear-ended?
Yeah.
Guess when they got rear-ended and then just cut after the front doors.
Right. That'd be nutty.
That would be gnarly.
That'd be sick though.
That would.
There's a lot you could do.
I'm sure someone's done that actually. Let's see.
You can go full simulation with this, and it'd be intense. I love the wheel. Can't complain, really. But I would say if it came like bigger, if the wheel came bigger, then it'd be dialed in.
I really want to find someone. I'm sure someone's done it. Someone has had to have buy an actual old used car, chop the back off. Yes, I found it.
Because people do that with like planes. And
it's
stuff
not.
Too.
Yeah, they do it with planes all the time, but there's a bit more budget there.
Yeah, that's true. This is just like for fun.
This is just like, haha, it's fun. I found one image. This looks like it's done by a proper simulation company, though. It's not just like some random person did it as a hobby thing.
Oh, this is.
But it does look cool. School. It looks like it's like a proper thing, but still, that's awesome. They have an actual seat in there, proper dash, doors, front of the car.
That would be sick. You know what they need too? They need massive but it would be loud. But fans, so you could feel like wind. If you put down the window, you could feel the wind.
God,
that'd be crazy. Oh, but
at that point, you're just go outside and drive.
Yeah, I know that's true. But they got the side view mirrors and everything. Oh, and if you look back, there's a screen. Right there.
For the rear view.
That's a simulation.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's by your research company. It looks like.
Yeah. But yeah, that's great game.
Alternatively, you just get a VR headset.
True.
And then as long as you have some bait, as long as you have the wheel and the shifter and stuff,
yeah,
you basically can't tell the difference anyways. Because everything looks like a real car, and the things that you're going to be touching are going to work. So.
Yeah, and they're in the same place roughly.
Yeah, I don't think you'll need to adjust your AC or anything, or your radio.
No. Beam, great game.
It's a god tier game. It's
I
paid I think I paid $15 for it in 2015, and it has been the best investment on any game ever. What game can you buy for $15 and they constantly update it for what is it now 6 years?
Yeah, exactly.
For free, no DLC, just all free updates.
I bought it for $28, and that's still like
still a steal.
Still a steal, especially like I was gonna buy Forza. That's like $80.
Yeah, Forza is a AAA game, $80, and then Beam's got like everything you can want and more for like a third of the price.
Exactly. Best game.
I'm shocked they don't charge more for it. They could easily charge $50 for it, and it would still be worth it.
I would still buy it for $50 easily. Yeah. I'd buy it for $70.
Yeah, it's definitely worth more than they are selling themselves short for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sick.
I think they're sponsored by Audi and other people. That's how they get so much funding, I believe.
If they bring in like AI cars too, that'd be crazy.
There are AI cars, but they're not the greatest AI.
Because I know you can like spawn your own AI in.
Yeah.
You can do that, but like if they just made a game where there's just like constant AI, like you just going around, it'd be a lot for the game to. The manage.
AI in the game, if I'm gonna be honest, isn't great. They like to crash, and they're not the best drivers.
No.
And they'll get in your way a lot. But also the tech behind them is insane. You expect it to just be like very simple AI, but these they went all the way. Like these cars are like self-driving cars in real life simulated in the game. So they're not just like all knowing like okay, this is where all the cars are, this is where all the walls are. They actually have proper LiDAR. So each car uses LiDAR to see.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So that's why if you spawn, I don't know, a barrier in the road or a truck in the road, it'll actually stop before it hits it. Because it uses it does like little ray tracing things. So it shoots out a bunch of rays like LiDAR, detects something in the way, and will stop before it hits it. That's just insane to me.
Crazy.
The AI in the game is like ridiculous. They actually like do it like proper self-driving car. It has LiDAR.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you the video. They do a little tech demo where they show you like a little bit behind the scenes, and you can see a car going through the streets with the LiDAR, and it's so cool.
Yeah, because it's like how it would work in real life.
Yeah, like they properly simulated.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. No corners cut with Beam.
No
corners cut. What else has been going on? Overall, Beam, great game. Love the PC. Great investment. 10 out of 10 investment. What else has been going on in life, Carson? Tell me it all.
Well, not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. I want to say the point between the last Potter and this one, I don't even know. Well, obviously, like the PC and all that, what we talked about, but it's gone by quick. It's really just been school, get the homework done, and that's it. We had reading week, but I didn't even feel like we had reading week. I didn't even feel like we had it, honestly. I don't even know what else has been going on. I'm going on walks. Have you been going on walks, Haas?
Nope.
You gotta get out there, Haas.
One day.
Yours is a little different, though. You don't have a sidewalk, and you just have a loop.
It's a bit sketchy.
So it's rough. At least for me, like I can just go on the sidewalk, and there's a million different ways I could go.
Yeah, so BeamNG is sponsored by the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence and Audi Electronics Venture.
They should put Audi cars in the game then. That's what we want.
I think there's a very specific reason that companies don't want their cars in the game.
They get destroyed.
Oh, yeah. And then people will, like, crash doing 130 and be like, what? Your car can't crash doing 130 and survive? Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be real cars, other than mods in Beam.
But yeah, this...
For good reason.
Game
For good reason.
Crazy.
What else? What else is going on?
I got a whole lot going on in my life.
I think I told you, I finished my physiotherapy for my toe. Did I tell you that?
I don't think so.
Because, well, like, a couple of years ago now, or 4 years ago, because it was grade 10, I had shattered my toe.
Yes.
You remember that? Since then, like, it healed, but it didn't fully heal. Like, there's still, like, a broken bone piece, like, in my toe. They wanted to, like, put a pin in it to, like, because I was still having some pain with it. I went to other physio. They were trying to do all these, like, things to fix it because I wasn't, like, really using the toe because it was broken. It kind of hurt. And then I started having, like, lower back pain.
Damn.
So I went to other this has been for, like, years. I've literally had that lower back pain since, like, grade 11, and it was really bad, like, while I was working and stuff like that. So I went to doctors for that. They thought I, like, had, like, kidney issues, like, crazy.
Damn.
And literally the whole time I was like, no, it's because of my toe. Like, this doesn't heal. I don't walk on it properly. So then obviously, like, if you're not walking properly, that leads all the way up through your body. Like, it doesn't just stop with the toe. So finally I was like, tried physio before, but I gotta go again to someone and, like, really sort this out, because, like, I would just go on a walk around the neighborhood and I would come back and my back is, like, hurting. I'm like, my toe is killing. So I found a physio, and they were just telling me, like, all these new things that, like, physio has never told me before. So basically the idea was, like, the old physio, orthotics and all that kind of stuff. They were trying to put me in those and put me in, like, these bigger shoes. That's part of the reason I got into New Balance, because apparently they were to help me. But this physio was like, no, you don't want any of that, because that's just, like, crutches, and you don't want to be like,
crutches for life.
20. Yeah, like, I'm only 20. Like, you don't want that. You don't want the crutches, because later, when I'm, like, 60, 70, sure, but now, like, you don't. And our bodies adapt very well. They told me that, like, your body can adapt. So basically it was all about, like, exercises and strengthening my feet and, like, strengthening that toe and, like, really stretching it out, all this stuff. Long story short, New Balance actually doesn't help you. I still like them. I'm still going to wear them. But they don't help you. Orthotics, if you can avoid at all costs. And after 2 weeks, the pain I had in my toe and my back for, like, 4 years, gone.
Damn.
Crazy.
They're working magic.
Yeah, because I went there, and she's telling me, like, because I literally asked for New Balances, like, specific ones for Christmas, because that's what physio had always told me, like, yo, you need this for your feet, because it makes sense, like, New Balances are those shoes. No. And she was like, no, you don't need them. And I would wear, like, Vans and stuff, and, like, after a long walk, like, those would hurt my feet, and I was like, damn, I shouldn't be wearing Vans. But then she was like, no, Vans are actually better for you because they're flat and they strengthen your feet, because every time you wear them and your feet hurt, you're building the muscles in your feet, so they're better. I don't know.
That seems backwards.
It was a lot. It does seem back from, like, everything I've been told from all these other, like, orthopedic people. It was backwards. but it worked. In 2 weeks, it worked. So, crazy story, because, like, it was literally 4 years, and I would come home after work with my back, like, killing. And at that time, I was, like, 17. There's no need for that. Yeah, there's my story. There's my physio story. Craziness. I'm
things
still
are getting
mind
better.
blown. Yeah, no, things are, like, much better now. And now I just work in, like, if I do any kind of exercise, I just make sure to also, like, do things with my feet, because that's what we're supposed to do. Like, just, I don't know, crazy. Yeah, that's all I got. I think that's all that's literally everything that's happened in the last month or so. Now we're back to the school grind, eh, Haas?
Yep. Just really going through it.
Yeah, that's it. We'll plan. This will be my first time editing in Adobe Premiere, so we will see how it goes for this Potter.
You're gonna edit the Potter in Premiere?
Yeah.
Not Audacity?
No, for the because I upload it to YouTube.
Oh.
So I put, like, the photo and, like, you know how it is.
I know.
Other than that, I guess we'll plan a time during the week when we both got free to record these more. I think that would work good. Other than that, Haas, you got anything else you want to spill?
The beans.
Spill the beans.
I don't think so.
All right. No, I think that's it. We'll see you next time. We won't see you, but you'll hear us next time.
Hey.
Hey, you'll hear us next time on the Potter. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pack your bags, we're going to nowhere. The grass is greener, can you smell the fresh air? White picket fences, flamingos and lawn chairs. Can't wait to go nowhere. Pack your bags, we're going to nowhere. The grass is greener, can you smell the fresh air? White picket fences, flamingos and lawn chairs. Can't wait to go nowhere.